So changes aimed to help residents as city officials look at our water emergency plans. Now, Corpus Christi is making the effort to benefit residents.
Plus, a new contract to get road construction back on track, how a company is expected to help with the backlog of major city projects.
And Americans being monitored this morning after evacuating the Hantavirus cruise ship. The warning this morning from the World Health Organization. Well, hey there, folks. If you're just joining us, thanks for watching Chris 6 Sunrise on this Wednesday morning. What a fine day it is. You are joining us with the Hoffmans, waking up with us. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, there's a lot to look forward to this week. Beach Day is coming up on Saturday. We got to check in to see if the weather is working out for our weekend. But first, we got to get through the day, right? Meteorologist Stephen Jones, good morning.
Well, good morning, you guys. Good morning, Coastal Bend. We are waking up a little cooler out there in the 60s for most of us, 70s closer to the coast. We've got rising humidity on our hands, though, and that means for Beach to Bay this weekend, going to be a little warm and a little humid. Can't rule out maybe just an isolated shower that morning, but for the most part, not looking very rainy for it, looking more sunny into our Saturday. But like Michelle said, let's get through our Wednesday first. So far, the Skycam's showing some beautiful views of the sunrise, but temperature-wise, we're waking up to the 60s and 70s. 60 on the money out there in Beeville. Here in Corpus Christi, coming in closer to 65 degrees, with Alice reading 61, and Port Aransas, the warm spot on the board, coming in at 74 so far this morning. As we're waking up for that bus stop forecast, we're going to be on the warm up through the rest of the day. Still holding on to those upper 60s for the 7 a.m. drop off, but by 3 p.m. up to 86 degrees with that sunshine, and I'm calling 88 for our daytime high here in Corpus Christi. Likely to push up into those lower 90s if you find yourself inland. George West, 94 degrees, maybe even 93 there towards Freer. But the good news is, as we're heading towards next week after this weekend, with the rising humidity, that's where rain chances really start to rise across the region, maybe going into Monday and Tuesday of next week, but we'll get into that in a minute. Let's get you ready for your Wednesday morning as you're going to go out there and hit the roadways. So far, so good on the traffic flow map. If you're hitting the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland, looking at that good and green color flow so far. So for Robstown and Cal Allen, 37 looking good and green this morning, as well as 44 if you're making that commute to or from Robstown. For our major thoroughfares here in Corpus Christi, Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga, all coming in the clear. Even Crosstown Expressway not looking too bad this Wednesday morning, so let's take it off to the north. Good morning to neighbors up there in Beeville. So far, also so good. That good and green color flow across the entire coastal bend so far. So good and green Wednesday morning. But like I talked about, we've got rain chances on the way. We'll talk a little bit more about those coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
Stephen, appreciate you, sir. So Corpus Christi Water making some changes to the original Level 1 water emergency plan.
Yeah, that's right. The new plan increased the baseline to 8,000 gallons a month. After subtracting a 25% curtailment, residents will be allowed 6,000 gallons a month. Surcharges will be issued for going over monthly water allotments. Once over the baseline, customers will be billed $8 per 1,000 gallons. Other amenities like splash pads and pools will remain open.
Everybody agreed that that would be a good recommendation, something to bring forward so that we can wash the boats, preserve the integrity of that investment.
Commercial car washes would also be allowed to operate as long as they comply with all drought contingency plan measures. A second reading of the plan is expected during next week's City Council meeting.
So a decision is expected any day now from the judge overseeing the Evangeline Laguna groundwater project. They're going to decide whether opponents of the project can legally challenge the permits Corpus Christi needs to build it. The city of Sinton and the local water supply corporation are fighting those permits. If they win, the project could be delayed by up to 2 years.
Corpus Christi City Council approved a contract for temporary work due to staffing shortages. Many construction projects across the city are falling behind because of the lack of workers. The 3-year, $6 million contract is going to AGCM of Corpus Christi. Engineering Services says the workload increased in the past 5 years, creating a backlog and delays on some city projects.
Well, right now, 18 Americans are being medically monitored after evacuating a cruise ship hit by the Hantavirus. All passengers are now off the MV Hondas after the deadly outbreak. 2 Americans are in biocontainment units over at Emory University Hospital in Atlanta. The World Health Organization says that 11 cases and 3 deaths are linked to the ship. They warn that more cases could emerge in the coming weeks.
but I don't expect to see hundreds or thousands of more cases.
Your health experts add that this variant of the hantavirus does not spread easily. Officials say the risk to the general public is low, and no new deaths have been reported since May 2nd. Another American doctor who cared for passengers tested positive. He's currently asymptomatic, but is being held in a Nebraska biocontainment unit.
Amazon is offering a new 30-minute delivery service. Amazon now can deliver thousands of items from groceries to everyday essentials in 30 minutes or less. In order to meet that timeline, Amazon now uses a network of smaller locations for order fulfillment. So right now the service is currently being offered in 4 cities, including Dallas, but is expected to expand to other U.S. cities. And it looks like GameStop won't be taking over eBay. The online marketplace has rejected the video game company's $56 billion offer. eBay says the unsolicited bid from GameStop last week was neither credible nor attractive. Among its concerns was the bid was uncertainty over how GameStop would finance it and the amount of the debt the deal would add to the company.
So Spotify can now tell you the first song that you've ever streamed on their app. In honor of the 20-year anniversary, the music streaming service is offering a look back at your entire history on the platform. It tells you your first day on Spotify, the total number of songs that you've listened to, the artist and title of your first streamed song, and your all-time most streamed artist. Well, if you have ever been up to the Austin or Dallas areas in the last year, you may have seen some self-driving cars, right? Well, this morning, Waymo recalling more than 3,700 of its vehicles. Federal safety officials saying that the self-driving cars may slow down, but failed to stop after detecting a flooded roadway. The company says that the car detected the flooding, but continued moving at a slower speed. Waymo says it is working on a permanent fix. Well, folks, 6:07 on your Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, we so appreciate it. President Trump is in China this week, and while Iran and the economy are expecting to loom large, coming up, the importance of Taiwan and why any updates on that front may be big news. Welcome back, folks. 6:10 your Wednesday morning, and we are manifesting a great day for all of you out there.
You got this. I believe in you. But to help out, we got to make sure that the weather is on our side, which is why we have to butter up Mr. Stephen Jones over here. I slipped him a 20 earlier. Is that going to affect our weather at all?
I think we're looking at a great day out there for our Wednesdays. We're going to be pretty good. The only complaint might be just a little warm this afternoon, but hey, we're heading into summer. It's only going to get a little bit worse out there, unfortunately, as we're heading into summer. We're on the warm-up, chasing the upper 80s today, the 90s as we're heading into the weekend, especially for some of our inland neighborhoods. Yesterday, we were right on the money, 87 degrees for that daytime high. That's where we should be for this time of year. Still dealing with some cool downs in the morning, 66 yesterday, and likely to look pretty similar as we're looking at the almanac data for today. Either way, shy of that record high 94 from 1967, and we're not expecting to see that 94-degree mark today here in Corpus Christi, so I don't think there'll be any complaints there. Here's a live view from our studio sky cam this Wednesday morning, 65 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Wind's pretty calm right now, but a gorgeous sunrise on our hands, and through the rest of our day, we're going to have plenty of that sunshine out there. But with winds back out of the southeast, we do have some increased humidity in the atmosphere, leading to some of the patchy fog showing up once again. Beeville reading about a third of a mile of visibility. Robstown down to a half of a mile of visibility. Sinton sitting at 4 miles right now. So if you do run into any of that patchy fog, just make sure to give yourself a little bit of extra caution on the roadways out there. It's going to be around through about sunrise and then start to dissipate closer to that 9 a.m. hour. Temperature-wise, most of us in the 60s this morning. 63 in Beeville, 64 for Freer and George West so far. The cool spot, San Diego, coming in at that 60-degree mark with a little bit of a warm-up along the coast. 14 degrees warmer there in Port Aransas, coming in at 74 degrees. Now for our dog walking forecast today, we've got Gracie and Ellie on the board. They're from Aransas County and says their favorite place to take a walk is just in their backyard. And as we're heading out there for their walk, going to be on the warm-up. 81 by 11 a.m. up to 85 as we're heading in towards that 1 p.m. hour. And in terms of our winds, yesterday they turned back out of the southeast. That's where they're going to remain today, about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, that's the sustained wind, of course. Gusts aren't going to be too bad either, though. Only about 15 to 20 miles an hour as we're heading into the afternoon and towards dinner time, but well shy of that 30-mile-an-hour mark where I really really start to call it breezy out there. In terms of our future tracker, we've been talking about it. Plenty of sunshine in store for our Wednesday. Lower 90s as you work your way inland from Jim Wells through B County and out to the west. 80s here in Corpus Christi. I'm calling about 88 for our daytime high, and lower 80s if you find yourself closer to Port Aransas. But the clear skies tonight put us back down into those 60s for our overnight lows before the pattern starts to get a little bit more unsettled heading into the weekend, I should say. That upper level ridge overhead starts to weaken. We see an upper level trough working in and starts to get just a little unstable as we're heading into next week. For this week, still plenty stable. 88 degrees today, 89 tomorrow. That takes us into the weekend as we're flirting with the 90-degree mark, but there's the unstable pattern by next week, kicking up some of those scattered thunderstorms by Monday.
Stephen, thank you so much. So President Trump is starting a multi-day high-profile summit, I should say, over in China this morning.
But as our Joe St. George explains, it's what President Trump may say about Taiwan that could have the biggest impact and potentially result in the next global crisis.
Anytime the leaders of the United States and China meet in person, it has the potential to produce news that greatly impacts our world. And this week is no different. And while much of the world will be focused on Iran as well as the economy during President Trump's trip to China, for many experts, the biggest news may involve Taiwan. President Donald Trump's trip to China has been long talked about. Only 8 sitting U.S. presidents have ever visited the country. And President Trump was the last in 2017. White House officials say the trip will focus on the economy, with the Iran war being discussed as well. Tesla CEO Elon Musk and Apple CEO Tim Cook are among a host of American business leaders accompanying the president. But for many, Taiwan will be one of the biggest topics to watch this week. Taiwan is home to around 23 million people. Since 1979, the U.S. has had a strategic ambiguity of how the White House would respond if Taiwan was ever attacked by China. China believes self-ruled Taiwan is a province of theirs that has acted awry.
I imagine that will be discussed in the trip, but I don't think it'll be a feature of our trip. Our policy remains unchanged. We don't want to see any forced or compelled change in the situation now. I think it would be destabilizing to the world.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Taiwan will likely be brought up while the president is in China, but dismissed that any policy shift is looming.
These are highly choreographed, very scripted events, right? And especially since Trump is going to be on Xi's home turf, Taiwan will come up.
Jonathan Zinn is a former CIA analyst who specialized in Chinese affairs and is now at the Brookings Institution. Zinn says even a small, unscripted moment from President Trump on Taiwan could be massive. For instance, the official position is that the U.S. does not support independence for Taiwan, but a subtle, potentially consequential change would be a statement that the U.S. opposes independence.
Even though that seems like pretty subtle stuff, that shift in rhetoric, what it signals is that there's active opposition to the government in Taiwan.
Zinn does not believe a Chinese invasion of Taiwan is imminent, but he does believe Chinese leaders will gauge Trump's temperature on this issue and question why $11 billion in arms sales were approved by President Trump to Taiwan last year. Taiwanese officials, meanwhile, have said they hope Trump returns to the U.S. with the status quo preserved. Joe St. George, Scripps News Group, Washington.
Well, folks, 6:16 is your time on this Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for joining us today.
New technology has researchers hopeful about improvements to detecting ovarian cancer. After the break, a look at the reliability efforts.
Welcome back, folks. So a new AI model is helping researchers find new treatments for ovarian cancer. It's often diagnosed in the later stages, making it harder to treat. Ovarian cancer does not have a simple or reliable screening process, but the new online platform is expected to help develop a screening test and better treatments. One part is a patient registry where patients can share their experiences with the disease.
There's just so much valuable research that's happening right now, but too often the pieces aren't connected.
The Ovarian Cancer Research Alliance offers free resources for patients and families of those with any kind of gynecological cancer.
Some psychedelic-based medicines may soon be used for mental health treatment. The Food and Drug Administration issued national priority vouchers to 3 companies studying psychedelic-based medicines. It comes after a recent executive order from President Donald Trump. One drug has the active ingredient in magic mushrooms for treating resistant depression and major depressive disorder.
Psychedelics really are a paradigm changer. And potentially, I think we don't yet know how much, but there really seems to be a unique way that they have of working, that 1 or 2 doses can cause rapid relief of symptoms within a couple of days, and that for many people that relief seems to last for weeks or months.
But the path forward isn't without some concerns. There are still questions surrounding what will happen once the drugs move from tightly controlled studies into the real world. Well, folks, it's now 6:23, your Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for waking up with us.
We always appreciate it. Well, students receiving big honors for life-saving decisions. After the break, a recap of the annual High School Heroes Awards. Welcome back, everyone. So hundreds of local high school students were honored yesterday for saving lives. The Coast Bend Blood Center hosted its annual High School Heroes Awards luncheon. More than 300 students and school staff gathered over the Mansion Royale to celebrate a successful year of high school blood drives. The students say giving blood is a small way to make a big impact.
It saves people's lives, so like even just one bag can save someone, help someone if they're in an accident or something and they need blood, like your blood could save their life.
This cause is especially meaningful to me, as I have had 53 surgeries and have had a few transfusions in my lifetime as well during those surgeries. So the Coast Bend Blood Center invited me to personally talk about the impact that donating has had on my life and on your life.
Yes.
And, you know, for everyone that I've done a story for, on your lives as well. So I just want to say a big thank you to all of those high school students. 30% of all blood here in the Coastal Bend Blood Center comes from those students.
And I said it earlier, my hero has his hero, so I am so thankful for that, definitely. I think I want to donate some blood too. I want to find out my blood type.
Yeah, no, it's definitely important to know your blood type and just to donate. It takes like an hour, saves a life. It's so cool.
Exactly. Well, folks, it is now 6:27, your Wednesday morning.
And coming up, a father and son keeping their tradition alive. The moment that they call unforgettable as they prepare for the World Cup.
Amid a high-profile summit in China with expected talks about the global economy, we'll show you how the war with Iran may overshadow key topics.
40 years after a road on the city's Southside was built, it's seeing some wear and tear following recent rains. How it is still causing concerns for drivers 24 years after its last upgrade.
Okay, the motion carries.
A little later, changes to the Corpus Christi water emergency plan will break down the discussion from City Council. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. And if you're just joining us, thank you so much for waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. Yeah, no, it is a great day so far, if I do say so. I know it's just getting started. We got to start it on the right foot, though. For more on that, meteorologist Stephen Jones. How you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Well, good morning, you guys. You know, pretty well today. We're having a good Wednesday so far, waking up to the 60s here in Corpus Christi, and for most of us, so still jacket worthy if you ask me. But going into the afternoon, definitely not jacket worthy. It's going to be getting toasty. If you were around outside yesterday, only going to be a degree warmer than that, and that's going to continue as we're heading into the weekend. But like we talked about, still feeling the cool down as we're waking up for our Wednesday morning. Temperatures across the board in the 60s and 70s. 60 on the money out there in San Diego for our cool temperature. 65 in Freer and 65 there in George West, with a decent 10-degree warm up towards Port Aransas. 74 degrees what you're waking up to so far this morning. In terms of our visibilities, we do have a couple of reduced visibilities out there. Mainly Robstown reading half a mile and Beeville reading a third of a mile mile of visibility. Even Sinton coming in at 3 miles right now. That's thanks to moisture flowing back in from the Gulf, those southeasterly winds. This is something that could affect us into tomorrow morning as well. Through the rest of our Wednesday, though, that fog dissipates closer to 9 and 10 a.m. and then plenty of sunshine into the afternoon with winds out of the southeast about 10 miles an hour. Gets us up to 88 here in Corpus Christi. Even likely to see those lower 90s as you find yourself in some of our inland neighborhoods later today. And like I talked about, going to be warm into the weekend. But as we get you ready for your Wednesday morning, let's take a look at that traffic flow map. So far, so good on the traffic flow map. If you're going to be hitting the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland, looking at that good and green color flow, as well as 361 into Ingleside there, and then 181 into Taft, also that good and green color flow. For our major thoroughfares here in Corpus Christi, Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga, all coming in the clear. Even Crosstown Expressway not looking too bad this morning. As we take a slight detour inland, good morning to neighbors out there in Sinton. So far, no slowdowns on Pirate Boulevard or downtown. Also looking at that good and clean traffic flow. So let's take a look at some of the drive times. 22 minutes from downtown to the island, Robstown to downtown, 19 minutes, and then 12 minutes from Cal Island to downtown. But for the most part, looking at that good and green Wednesday morning with very minor slowdowns at that. But we do have rain chances on the way next week. We'll talk a little bit more about those coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
Stephen, thank you. President Trump arriving in China this morning for a closely watched summit with President Xi Jinping.
Trade between the world's two largest economies will be at the forefront, and so will the war with Iran. China is expected to be key in pressuring Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and end the war. President Trump was asked if the impact on Americans' finances motivates him to make a deal with Iran.
The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody.
White House officials say the president's top responsibility is American safety and security.
So the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's Commissioner Marty McCary is set to depart the Trump administration. It comes after President Trump reportedly signed off on a plan to fire him last week. He's under a scrutiny by Trump officials over his management of the health agency, including his resistance to approving the sale of flavored e-cigarettes.
I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Jacob Daniels, and if you've driven down Grizzly Drive on the south side, you know these bumps, these cracks, and these potholes. I spoke with one neighbor who's voicing her concern.
Grizzly Drive was built in 1986, and the last time it was fully reconstructed was 2002. Residents say recent rain is making the damage worse. One neighbor says the cracks are causing major issues right outside her home.
When I go to pull out, I literally have to step on the gas just to get out of the driveway because it's just so cracked up.
The city scores street conditions on a scale from 0 to 100. Grizzly Drive scores a 60, and the pavement program focuses on streets scoring in the low 20s. That means neighbors will have to wait for a long-term fix.
So a Coast Bend family preparing for the World Cup. The FIFA World Cup starts in about a month. Ignacio Rubalcaba played professionally in Mexico during the 1960s. That passion is shared with his son Sergio, who received a full scholarship to play college soccer in Wayland, Texas. He says that this tournament will be an unforgettable moment.
I already know we're going to have a great time because I'm going to leave for college and I won't be as close to my family, so I want to make this World Cup more special.
Father and son already have their uniforms ready to support their team. Sergio will move to Texas to start his new chapter after the tournament.
A mariachi band in San Diego bringing home a state title. Take a look. Neighborhood News reporter Melissa Trevino was there when Mariachi Azuli Oro arrived home. After months of practice and dedication, they reclaimed the title after almost 6 years. The musicians say San Diego's mariachi program helps them connect with their heritage.
I feel honored that I get to be a part of this group, this culture, our culture that we get to have here and share with not only just the people here, but with the people all over the world.
Mariachi music dates back to the 18th century. It originated in the countryside of western Mexico. Well, folks, it's now 6:36. Before you head out the door, meteorologist Stephen Jones will have a look at your forecast.
And a chance for the honoring of the lives lost nearly 25 years ago. Why the 9/11 Memorial and Museum is planning on adding a 7th moment of silence. Changes to help residents as city officials look at a water emergency plan. How Corpus Christi is trying to make the effort to benefit residents.
Plus, at an upcoming bingo night, even losing can mean something for veterans across the country. I'll have details on the event and how you can get involved.
And a judge issuing a permanent injunction against a Corpus Christi Chronica founder. What this means for the ongoing dispute.
Now, 20 minutes of nonstop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
A decision is expected any day now from the judge overseeing the Evangeline Laguna groundwater project.
That's right. So they will decide on whether or not the opponents of the project can legally challenge the permits Corpus Christi needs to build it. City of Sinton and a local water supply corporation are fighting those permits. If they win, the project could be delayed up to 2 years.
I'm Drew Bishop, and $500 citations were just one of the issues that City Council had with the original Level 1 water emergency plan. But on Tuesday, Corpus Christi Water came with some changes. Here's why some of those changes are actually going to be a help for residents.
Every council member up here had something to say about surcharges, about citations.
It's rare to see Corpus Christi City Council unified, but on Tuesday, they did over the city's Level 1 water emergency plan.
Okay, the motion carries. Was there anything else?
2 weeks ago, I told you about potential $500 citations and how City Council opposed them for residents.
I am with the others. I don't think that residents need to be punished anymore.
Now, those are gone, among other changes. The new plan increased the baseline to 8,000 gallons a month, which means after subtracting a 25% curtailment, residents will be allotted 6,000 gallons of water a month.
Again, that is implemented at the date of a Level 1 water emergency.
Even though citations are gone, surcharges will be issued for going over monthly water allotments. All customers, residents, businesses, and industry will be billed $4 per 1,000 gallons over their allotment. When they go over their baseline, customers will be billed $8 per 1,000 gallons. Councilmember Mark Scott suggested this may be too soft and brought up a surcharge format from 1984.
And they charge $3 for the first 1,000 gallons over, and then $5 for the next 1,000 gallons over, and then $10 for the next 1,000 gallons. And then $25.
Other amenities like splash pads and pools will remain open. Commercial car washes would also be allowed to operate as long as they comply with all drought contingency plan measures. And the biggest amendment made? Boats can now be washed with hoses instead of using 5-gallon buckets.
Everybody agreed that that would be a good recommendation, something to bring forward so that we can wash the boats, preserve the integrity of that investment.
Now, this was the first reading of the Level 1 water emergency plan. The second reading is expected at next week's City Council meeting. Reporting from City Hall, I'm Drew Bishop for Chris 6 News.
Drew, thank you so much. If you've been waiting to purchase a rain barrel, the City of Corpus Christi now has them in stock. They received a shipment of 750 black and beige rain barrels. All you have to do is go to the central cashiering booth at City Hall to purchase one. You will then take your receipt to the city warehouse to pick up the rain barrel.
Well, good Wednesday morning there, Coastal Bend. Taking a look at our almanac data from yesterday. We were right on the money for that daytime high. Ended up topping out about 87 degrees over by CCIA, shy of that record 94 from 1967, and didn't pick up any rain yesterday, but hopefully we start to put more of a dent in that rainfall deficit as we're heading in towards next week. Waking up for our Wednesday morning, here's a view from our Sunset Island cam, courtesy of Matthews CCAC. 70 degrees here closer to the Laguna Madre. Wind's still pretty calm this morning with some early boaters out there, but either way, just a gorgeous view to start off our Wednesday. And with winds back out of the southeast, we've got rising humidity in the atmosphere, leading to just a little bit of patchy fog this morning. Beeville reading about 2.5 miles of visibility, 3 miles of visibility there in Sinton, but Robstown down to about 1/3 of a mile right now. If you do run into any of those reductions in visibility, just make sure to give yourself a little bit of extra caution out on the roadways. That's something that could also affect us into tomorrow morning. Temperature-wise, most of us waking up to the 60s out there. 63 in Beeville, 60 on the money in San Diego. Alice coming in at 64. 4 degrees, and then 10 degrees warmer over towards Port Aransas, 9 degrees warmer now. In fact, coming in at that 73-degree mark. As we're going through the next few hours, though, we'll be on the warm-up with that sun coming up. Today's dog walking forecast, we've got Gracie and Ellie on the board. They're from Aransas County and says their favorite place to take a walk is just in the backyard. As we're heading out there for their walk, though, 81 degrees by 11 a.m., up to 85 as we're heading in towards that 1 p.m. hour. And remember, winds are back out of the south and east, so 5 to 10 miles an hour and slightly rising humidity today. Let's walk you through the future tracker on what we're expecting. Plenty of sunshine through the rest of our Wednesday. That's going to help us get back up into the upper 80s here in Corpus Christi, lower 90s as you work your way from B County through Jim Wells County and out towards the west for our inland neighborhoods. Tonight, the clear skies get us back down into those 60s for another cool start tomorrow morning, but probably one of the last ones as we head into Friday and the end towards the weekend. Looks like it's going to get a little warmer out there. Nonetheless, the mostly sunny skies tomorrow take us back into the 90s for our inland neighborhoods, into the upper 80s here in Corpus Christi once again tomorrow. All thanks to this upper level ridge of high pressure riding overhead. You can see it in the American Southwest starting to work its way towards the Lone Star State, but luckily by the weekend it starts to weaken, and then we start to see our next upper level trough working into the western United States. That's going to provide some Pacific moisture for the Lone Star State and just a little bit more of an unstable pattern that starts to kick up those rain chances as we're heading into next week. So for this week, don't need the umbrella for the rain, maybe just that shade if you want it for it. But heading in towards Monday and Tuesday, that's where we could start to see more of those scattered thunderstorms back on the board. Here's how it's all rounding out on the 7-day forecast. Plenty warm this week, so make sure to drink that water and stay cool out there. 89 tomorrow with plenty of sunshine and flirting with the 90-degree mark as we're heading into the weekend. Something to consider if you're heading to Beach to Bay on Saturday, but then heading into next week, that's where it gets a little bit more unstable with scattered thunderstorms by Monday afternoon.
Stephen, thank you. A final viewing for Bishop Rene Gracia takes place this morning. It all starts at Most Precious Blood Catholic Church at 8:30. A funeral mass will begin at 11. Interment will take place in the Emmanuel Chapel over at the Corpus Christi Cathedral at 2:30 this afternoon. Well, a contributor to Chris Six's Coastal Bend history, Robert Parks, has passed away. He taught over at Tom Brown Middle School and Carroll High School before retiring back in 2006. His passion for teaching went beyond the classroom, leading trips to Washington, D.C. and even as far as Europe. Parks had a love for travel, often involved trips to the Texas Hill Country too. He was 76 years old.
This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm. Car wreck? Heil will help.
Local veteran nonprofit Burn Pits 360 is turning luxury handbags into life-changing support for military families all across the country. Its fashion-forward fundraiser is helping vets get the care they need.
Oh my gosh! Big prizes and a room packed with excited people. In 2023, I emceed the very first designer bag bingo fundraiser for Burn Pits 360. And now the event has grown into one of the nonprofit's biggest fundraisers, supporting veterans across the country.
Isn't she beautiful?
Sure, at first glance, the row of purses may catch your eye.
We are close to $30,000 worth of designer purses that you can come in and win.
But organizers say the real value behind these purses goes far deeper.
This center here serves as a hub for our veterans, and they come from all over, not just the state, but all over the nation.
Burn Pits 360 advocates for veterans suffering from illnesses connected to toxic burn pit exposure during military burn pits. And Ramirez says many are still fighting for access to basic health care years after returning home.
I can't tell you the number of veterans that we have that have been neglected for many years and that we continue to lose every single day.
The money raised through this event helps keep services running, from advocacy support to helping veterans navigate benefits under the PACT Act. And while bingo and designer purses may draw people in, Ramirez tells us the event also brings awareness to stories many people have never heard before.
They don't know exactly the story behind burn pits, and once they come to any one of the events that is hosted by us, they're able to see.
For Ramirez, one story still sticks with him.
There was a veteran that I knew, his name was Herbie Garza, who recently passed away here from Corpus Christi. He was a letter carrier, served in the U.S. Navy, proud of his service, served overseas, and came back with health issues.
He says Garza's story is a reminder of why the fight for veterans' health care isn't over.
He absolutely deserved and something that we should have done for him a long time ago, but finally the PACT Act was able to pave the way for him to get that necessary treatment.
And you know, the third annual Designer Bag Bingo fundraiser is expected to be the organization's biggest yet, with raffle prizes, auctions, and of course bingo games helping raise money for the nonprofit. It's on June 13th at the Richard Borchard Regional Fairgrounds. And you can check out the details on our website, christv.com. Scan the QR code on your screen and it will take you to all of my coverage as well, highlighting veterans across our community.
I'm outside the Nueces County Courthouse today where a judge just issued a permanent injunction against Corpus Christi Chronica founder Eric Tunches in what's been an ongoing dispute over the Peters family estate. Under the injunction, Eric Tunches is barred from collecting rent, managing properties, or representing himself as connected to several Corpus Christi homes tied to the case. Inside court, Judge Mark Warner repeatedly pushed back on Tunches' claims he could obtain ownership rights through adverse possession.
You have absolutely no valid claim of adverse possession. Your affidavits of adverse possession are complete nonsense and have no validity whatsoever.
Tunches argued affidavits he filed gave him standing in the case, and at one point referencing opinions from Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. But the judge appeared increasingly frustrated with the legal arguments being presented.
You can't just find a house in town that appears to be abandoned and say, well, you know what, I think I'll just take this for myself. It's complete nonsense. And the minimum period of time to perfect an adverse possession claim is 3 years. You couldn't have done it unless you have a magic time machine. Do you have one of those?
No, sir.
Yeah, there you go.
Attorneys representing Amy Becker, a relative of the Peters family, argued Tunches never had legal authority over the homes.
How do you feel about the judge's ruling? He's an excellent judge, and I believe he ruled correctly.
The judge also warned Tunches that violating the injunction could lead to contempt proceedings and possible jail time. After the hearing, Tunches briefly answered questions.
I respect the ruling today. You know, like I said, I'm here to protect the trust, and I'll continue to try to protect the trust and the charitable remainder to the veterans of Corpus Christi.
Former tenants and family members say the legal fight has already caused financial and emotional strain. So what are the plans now with these properties?
The plans now is first to do the evictions, get the people out, then probably sell whatever money we do make will be donated to the disabled American veterans, as my uncle did instruct in his final wishes.
Reporting from the courthouse, I'm Leah Zora.
Leah, thank you for that. So 2 shipping companies are facing charges this morning. This is for the deadly container ship crash that caused the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore to collapse 2 years ago. Synergy Marine out of Singapore and Synergy Maritime in India are facing charges of conspiracy, obstruction, and making false statements. The bridge is estimated to cost billions of dollars to rebuild. Well, new developments are emerging in the disappearance of a woman in the Bahamas. The U.S. Coast Guard has seized the sailboat Soulmate, owned by Brian Hooker. His wife, Lynette, disappeared last month near Elbow Cay over in the Bahamas. Authorities say that Lynette Hooker vanished while the couple was traveling between islands. Brian Hooker told investigators that she fell overboard during strong winds and was not wearing a life jacket.
Florida will close its controversial Alligator Alcatraz migrant detention facility by early June. Sources familiar with the facility's operations tell the New York Times vendors at the site were told detainees will be removed by the start of June and the center will be dismantled in the following weeks. The expected closure follows mounting legal challenges, high operating costs, and allegations of inhumane conditions. The 9/11 Memorial and Museum will be adding a 7th moment of silence to the 25th commemoration ceremony in September. Each moment is marked by the ring of a bell. The 7th will honor those who died of illnesses related to their time at or near the World Trade Center site. For the past 24 years, there have been 6 bells to represent the times when planes hit New York, Washington, and Pennsylvania, and when the towers fell.
So a body found in Bexar County believed to be connected to the 6 others found in Laredo over the weekend. And the body was found near San Antonio along train tracks. Investigators believe that the man was inside the same boxcar of the Union Pacific train. Train split with some cars continuing on to Laredo, which is where the 6 victims were discovered Sunday. The man has not been identified.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
The city of Corpus Christi has now restocked their supply of water barrels. The latest shipment includes 750 barrels. They cost $47 plus tax.
A judge overseeing the Evangeline Laguna groundwater project expected to decide on whether opponents of the project can legally challenge the permits Corpus Christi needs to build it. A ruling was originally expected on Tuesday.
Major construction projects are falling behind due to staffing shortages, so City Council approved a contract to AGCM of Corpus Christi to help provide temporary work for large construction projects.
President Trump is in China for a two-day trip. He'll meet with Chinese leader Xi Jinping to discuss trade agreements, Taiwan, and the war in Iran. CEOs from several major U.S. companies are also in attendance.
Apple says updates to the 26.5 versions of iPhones and iPads addresses a list of security flaws. The company is also introducing support for end-to-end encrypted RCS messaging at the beta level.
And a middleman, Eric Fleming, is up for sentencing. He is one of several people charged with Matthew Perry's 2023 death. Investigators say that Fleming delivered the deadly drugs to the actor. Hey folks, it's about that time. We got to check in one last time with our meteorologist, Mr. Stephen Jones, making sure that the day and the rest of the week are looking A-okay. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning to you guys. You know, doing great this Wednesday. We're waking up to the 60s for most of us. Still jacket worthy out there, but it's one of those days you might want it in the morning, definitely not into the afternoon. We're going to be chasing about 88 for our daytime high here in Corpus Christi, even those 90s as you work your way into some of our inland neighborhoods. Here's our SPID sky cam. Waking up to about 66 here in Corpus Christi with traffic starting to pick up a little bit there along SPID, but so far the traffic flow map still showing good and green color flow out there. If you're hitting the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland, looking good and green, as well as those Robstown and Cal Allen commutes 37 and 44 both coming in the clear. Our major thoroughfares here in Corpus Christi also no issues to report, and as we're looking at our downtown close-up view, you can see just on Morgan Avenue some of those yellows, but luckily no oranges or reds, so for the most part a good and green Wednesday morning as we're heading out there. But let's get you a forecast as we're heading into the weekend and next week. We've got some changes on the way out there. In terms of our visibility this morning, we do have those winds back out of the southeast, increasing our humidity in the atmosphere, leading to just a little bit of patchy fog. Beeville reading about 2.5 miles of visibility right now. Robstown down to 1/3 of a mile. So if you do run into any of that reduction in visibility, just give yourself a little bit of extra time out on the roadways. But like I talked about, through the rest of our Wednesday, plenty of sunshine takes us to about 88 here in Corpus Christi. Winds out of the southeast all day about that 10-mile-an-hour mark, maybe gusting 15 to 20 miles an hour. And daytime highs going to be chasing those lower 90s for inland locations, but there is some good news as we're heading in towards next week. We start to see those rain chances return to the board. A little bit of an unstable pattern as we're heading in towards Monday and Tuesday, it looks like right now. So here's how it's rounding out on the 7-day forecast. Make sure just to practice that heat safety this week. 88, 89 degrees, even flirting with the 90-degree mark into the weekend before finally those storms return as we head into Monday of next week.
All right, before you go, folks, you got to check the story out. It's pretty funny. A speeding ticket was mistakenly sent to Kit from Knight Rider. The Volvo Museum in Illinois received a $50 citation claiming that their replica of the famous talking car was spotted speeding in New York City.
And you know, while Kit is certainly capable of excessive speeds, the museum says their car has been on display inside the museum for years. They believe it's a mistaken identity mix-up, likely linked to someone else's vanity plates. They requested a hearing about the ticket. That does kind of remind me, we do have a ticket that we have to pay from Italy.
Oh my goodness, yeah. We kind of went into a residential zone because we didn't see the signs.
You can't drive through those places.
That's fair. It gets a little hard out there.
We didn't have Kit at the wheel. So.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We are the Sunrise Crew, and you're amazing.